What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are here trying something new once again. It's that time of year. We got to start thinking of some new ideas, and I really like this idea. We will see how it actually works, though. So the general plan is going to be to look at some big moments throughout the college football season, either a running theme that was throughout a whole game or just a big drive, and see how, if it's something we can recreate in college football 25. If it was effective in real life, is it effective in this game? I have no idea. I don't know how it's going to translate, but I think it'd be fun to kind of find out. So as you can tell from our background here, we are first going to be looking at Oklahoma, specifically how they were able to shut down Alabama. Jalen Milroe, at the time the number 7th ranked Crimson Tide, held them to 3 points in Norman. If memory serves, it was they held them to 3 points. Of course, it was a great defensive game, but I think they did some really cool things and some things we should be able to translate over to this game, at least for the most part. There's, of course, going to be a lot of things that aren't, but we are going to do the best we can. I am going to be showing some clips of this game. I'm not sure how YouTube is going to like that, but hey, there's only one way to find out, so let's get into it. So our first clip here is from very early in the game. You can tell 3rd and 3, 12 minutes left in the first. I think Oklahoma had the ball once already and had to punt. So far, what has happened? Been a lot of Jalen Milroe runs, which you can tell Oklahoma was planning for. They are in what's essentially nickel 3-3 mint for the most part. You got the 3 down linemen and outside linebacker up here, slot corner, outside corner, safeties. 2 linebacker. And so far what Oklahoma has been doing is they've had either this number 28 or this number 10 on a QB spy. Typically it's been number 28, and you can tell even from here both of them, it could be either of them. They're both feet planted staring straight at Jalen Milroe. So in this instance though, I believe number 10 is going to be the QB spy, and they are running what's essentially LB cross 3 show 2 from nickel mint 3-3. I get so confused on the formation names in this game. But yes, that is what they're running. So from our perspective here, what we're going to see is this nose tackle is going to be pushing the offensive lineman down from our perspective, trying to open a gap for this 28 to come through between the center and the right guard. While this defensive end is trying to push kind of the opposite way and just create as big a gap as possible for 28 to come through, get some pressure up the middle. This outside linebacker is going to drop into coverage. And it's almost exactly that LB3 cross show 2 play. Almost. The only difference is going to be with this outside linebacker. I don't know if this was the play design or if he just went to the wrong spot. But in the play, at least in the game, he should be going out to the flat up here. Here he's going to drop back into more of what's essentially a hook curl. And I think 10 stays the QB spy. But it's almost... obviously we can't tell really what the deep shell coverage is from the broadcast angle. I don't have the all 22, but it's almost the exact same. So we'll see here. See that nose tackle comes through, is pushing down, taking the center and the left guard, getting them kind of out of the way. This defensive end is pushing up, trying to get the right guard and the right tackle out of the way. Here comes 28, trying to get right through here, try to get some pressure right up the middle on Jalen Milroe. 10 stays perfectly still. That's why I think he's the QB spy in this play, while he drops back into coverage as outside linebacker. Again, he's dropping more into a hook where in the game, and I think what worked better is if he's in a flat. I don't know if that was the play design or miscommunication, whatever it is, but here comes the pressure up the middle. Milroe can feel that 28 coming. And this is another thing we've noticed is they are very concerned. It seems like on the short right, middle of the field. I don't know if that's something they saw Milroe does a lot, but we have 2 defenders here. But again, I think one is the QB spy. He goes into guarding 81. We have 1 flat defender over here, essentially guarding 3 people. Number 5, 15, I think that is, in the halfback. But Milroe just snaps, feels that pressure, looks right, throws it high. So let's head over to the game and see if that's something we can recreate. We should be able to on this one. Yeah, so Oklahoma does have 3-3 mint, so that's perfect. Because that sure looked like the formation they were in. I'm not going to have all the exact players in the exact spots, but we have 28 and 10 as our linebackers. That's kind of where I think the overarching focus of this game is going to be the linebackers. What are they doing? So some plays I didn't show from this first drive, you could tell they are only concerned about Jalen Milroe. That's been their main concern. There was a play earlier. They did like a fake handoff and then a QB wrap, essentially. Linebackers didn't bite at all. They didn't move 1 inch towards the running back. They were laser focused on Jalen Milroe. So I think linebackers is going to be mainly where we're looking here. The play down here, LB cross 3 show 2. Yeah, then I guess we can just put them in a random offense. I was going to look and try to recreate their offense formation, but they don't really have anything very similar, so we'll just have them go random. So essentially this is the play design, right? They're flipped. This should be 28 over on the other side as the blitzer. But overall, this is very, very similar to the defense we see Oklahoma run on that play, right? Our nose tackle is going to be pushing to the left. We have a contain on this defensive end who's going to be pushing these guys out to the right. And then this linebacker is going to be coming through and trying to hit the gap right here. And then what they did differently is this linebacker that's not blitzing is on a QB spy. Then it looked like the linebacker, in this instance, it's our linebacker on the left. The one down on the line of scrimmage was either in a QB spy or a hook curl, like a vert hook or something like that. So I think that looks pretty similar to what they did. And then maybe there was a hard flat over there instead of a seam flat because he came down to guard that tight end on the flat, and he could also be there for the running back if he went out there that way. So honestly, a play like this would be great if you're worried about a running quarterback. You have contains out there, you have a QB spy, you have pressure coming up the middle. I wouldn't user either of the linebackers. I'd probably be using this downs. And then really Milroe shouldn't have anywhere to go because we have our star linebacker as the QB spy. He's going to be watching Jalen Milroe. We, as downs, can either go watch this flat. If the running back goes out, that'd be kind of our main concern, is watching that running back. And then the right sidelines are probably open, and the intermediate on the right is going to be open. Against this formation, this wouldn't be a great play, but this is the play Oklahoma looks like they ran. And again, I do think it's great if you're worried about Milroe trying to run. I don't think he's going to have much of anywhere to go. So we're going to watch the running back here. Maybe Oklahoma might be onto something. Oklahoma might be onto something. All right, let's head over to the next play. So here's another play from early on in the game, but it kind of similar to what we saw in the last play with getting that pressure up the middle. This is another theme we're going to see when they're worried about Jalen Milroe and his ability to run, which obviously is something you should be concerned about. It looks like Oklahoma is back in a nickel 3-3 mint defense here. 3 down linemen, outside linebacker number 40, 2 linebackers. Number 11 looks to be in for number 10. We still have number 28 here. I think this is outside corner, safety, and you can see a nickel corner's helmet right here. Then I think down at the bottom where we can't see, there's another wide receiver and another cornerback. But I think this is a great example of how Oklahoma was playing these QB runs against Jalen Milroe. Again, like I mentioned on the last play, 28 is just laser focused on Jalen Milroe. That's all he's concerned about. I'm just going to stand 5 yards off the ball. I'm just staring you down, Jalen Milroe. I'm your QB spy. If you want to get yards, you're going to have to go through me. Good luck, buddy. But what they also do here is I want you to watch number 40. How he plays this, I think it's phenomenal. He plays this so well. So we can see right now, Jalen Milroe is going to run. Right, we got our QB spy still here. Number 40 recognizes this, and instead of continuing to rush the passer, he just is going to essentially get in here and just shove off and meet Jalen Milroe in the hole. Number 40 plays this so well. Just boom, gets his hands on the offensive tackle right in this spot here as Milroe's trying to navigate up through the pocket. We got this guy looping around the outside, so it almost looks like they did contains with a QB spy. Obviously, we can't really tell the coverage too well on this play, but 40 hands off that tackle, bam, right there. No problem. And watch, just beautiful play by number 40. Stops his rush, gets in there, tackles Milroe. This one, I don't know if we'll be able to recreate. It just looked like contains with a QB spy, essentially, so we'll see what we can find. Obviously, without knowing their coverage, like what their shell they were in, that one's going to be a little trickier to create, but we do want all 4 rushing, and then we can just put a QB spy on. So something like Sam Mike 1. There's going to be a man coverage base, and instead of having that blitzing linebacker, we would just turn him into a QB spy and put contains on the field. So we do Sam Mike 1. Let's put them in a QB run, actually. I mean, this is like perfect. Gun trips, tight end, QB zone. That looks like almost exactly what they were in. So now we have our mint defense, right? Then we do some contains. So we'll have contains on the outside. Our 2 interior linemen are going to be pushing. And then instead of Lewis blitzing, we want him on a QB spy. And we'll just use her Stutzman, or we'll use her the deep zone on this, I suppose. This looks to be almost exactly how they were set up. The safety was kind of down here. The only thing different would be they weren't quite as pressed over there on the left, but either contains get in there. Number 40 gets in there and makes the play, just like we saw. Perfect. So QB contains, QB spy. It's really going to be the combination of the contains and the spy. That's the huge thing. And then the deep zone safety was kind of down in this area here. Just making sure you can't break out to the right. It's kind of going to be our job. Number 40 gets in there again. And there's only so much we can do against Jalen Milroe. I mean, we got in there at the, you know, at the line of scrimmage. But he's just going to break some tackles. But yeah, the contains and the QB spy. I think that's going to be a pretty consistent thing we're going to see from Oklahoma in this game. Which is a great combination to contain and stop somebody like Jalen Milroe from just going bananas on you. We'll run one more here. I mean, so far so good. That last play is exactly, I think, why that safety was down in that area. In case he does break through, you got one more line of defense. Get in there, make the tackle, keep him from being able to score. Let's see, in number 40, the contains. That's exactly what we saw. I actually want to see if we can go into this replay and see how similar that was. So I'm going to watch number 40, because just from my vantage point there, it looked pretty good. So he's on the contain. So he's on the tight end instead of the tackle, but similar thing. He just kind of is holding him there, sees the QB running, sheds him, gets right in the hole, and makes the tackle. Perfect. Perfect stuff. And I think, like I said earlier, that's kind of a constant of how Oklahoma is going to guard Jalen Milroe. They almost always seem to have a spy on the field, one of their two linebackers. They're in a lot of nickel with two linebackers to kind of disguise maybe a little bit of who's the spy, who isn't, who's dropping into coverage. And then just making sure Milroe can't get outside. Force him up the middle, force him towards that QB spy, and you can see what happens. All right, let's go find another play for us to look at. Now, here's another thing Oklahoma did on a 3rd and 10 in this, you know, I hate to say it, but essentially what they do here is go do a double mug. Not essentially, I mean, it is double mug. You got the 4 down linemen, they adjust, they bring their 2 linebackers down. The only thing they're doing different that we can't really do in this game, I don't believe, is they have their slot corner here right on the edge too. And they put 7 guys on the line of scrimmage here. 3rd and 10. Again, they're just telling Jalen Milroe, hey, beat us in the air, buddy. You're not going to beat us running the ball. You got 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, showing you one-on-one everywhere. I'm sure some guys are going to drop back and everything like that, but they're just showing you, hey, I dare you. And Alabama is apparently up for the dare. So they send a ton of pressure here. So out of these 7, let's see if they get a little motion going that way. Again, showing you man coverage. He's following the motion man. Number 2, that's Williams. Yeah, he's following the motion man. They're showing you, this is just man-to-man. Let's see if anybody drops back into coverage, or are they just rushing all 7? I can't tell if he was dropping back into coverage or that guy just pushed him back into coverage. They sent at least 6, and Alabama still tries to run the ball. Then, yes, no surprise, nowhere to go. So, I mean, 3rd and 10, and they just get as aggressive as possible. I'm sure everybody watching this knows the double mug mid blitz, but we'll still go take a look at it. Yeah, nickel double mug mid blitz, and what they did differently, let's see. So mid blitz, well, you can just put them, they did another QB run. It was kind of like, it was kind of a jet QB counter, it looked like. So we'll go with that, jet QB counter. Okay, and then what they did here, I'm going to try to get this lined up right. So they brought this slot corner down, blitzed him. And I think it looked like they probably manned one of these, or we'll just put like a QB spy out on that guy. You would be manned up on him. You would be manned up on him, our other safety. And he's kind of standing, they're all kind of standing far back here. Just saying, you know, you can take underneath, it's 3rd and 10, you can take underneath if you want. But we are sending the house at you here. You got 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. We're sending at least 6 of them. I put this guy in a QB spy because I couldn't really tell if he was actually dropping back into coverage or just got blown up by that right guard. So we'll just put him in a QB spy. Or, you know, you could put him in like a curl or something in case he was dropping back. Just watch anything quick. But you have just a 4 high shell, everybody else on the line of scrimmage. And then just send 6 at him, see how it works. There's the motion. Send 6 at him, and just has to run straight in the pile. There's just nowhere you can go on a QB run when we're sending that many people at you. Yeah, so, yeah, I think we had that pretty right, actually. So this slot corner's down here and blitzing. You are manned up on the slot receiver, backed up there. You can stay manned up there. And I do think he was in like a QB spy or something. Yeah, I think we had that set up pretty well. And I wonder if they did contains. It was kind of hard to tell. I think we'll go with contains. They've been doing a lot of contains. So we're sending 6. We have a QB spy in there too. And then there's just so much traffic in there. There's just nowhere for him to go. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oklahoma's defense, it's translating a little bit. Obviously, this is super aggressive and takes a lot of adjustments to do. But if you're really worried about a QB run, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. You're sending 6 with a QB spy and contains. Even against this dang F-twins over, such an annoying formation. You're just giving that quarterback nowhere to go. Let's see. See if it works again. Third time's a charm. Ooh, I whiffed on that tackle. We were in there. I just can't make a tackle. And then Milroe. Okay, Milroe. Okay, buddy. So interesting. Double mug. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty dang good way, if your user's better at tackling than mine is, to shut down these QB runs out of F-twins over. The only thing, F-twins over specifically, just talking about the game, the big thing you worry about in this is that jet sweep, and you don't want to be in double mug against that jet sweep. But honestly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in that jet sweep, and I want to see how bringing that slot corner down and blitzing them, how does that defend that jet sweep from that formation? Because that thing is such a pain. So jet touch pass. It's going to the right. So we bring him over here. You come down here and become a blitzer. You're manned up on him. I'm going to set it up the exact same way. QB spy. Get our blitzer down here. Contains. Let's see how this works against the jet sweep. So I really have no idea. Are we going to get in there? Interesting. Interesting. This might be F-twins over defense, actually. So blitz him. Man him up. QB spy. Contain. Let's see. Is it going to work again? Anything can work once. Let's see if it works consistently. Are we getting in there? Well, well, well. Well, well, well. So blitz. You go man up on him. We want to bring him down to the line of scrimmage. QB spy, contain. One more time. We just want to see if this actually works. Yeah, just runs him right into a pile. Okay. Oklahoma. Okay, I see you, Brent. I see you, Brent Venables. I see you, buddy. Let's go see the next play we can find. Okay, so we're in the third quarter now. The only thing, obviously, Oklahoma's taken a 7-point lead now. They've just been dominating time of possession, just slowly marching their way down the field on Alabama. There was one drive we just kind of skipped over of Alabama. There was really nothing for us to look at here. And there's really not a lot for us to look at on this play, except a phenomenal play by this outside corner. Other than that, there's not a lot for us to do here. Like, there's not really anything we can recreate here. I just wanted to show you guys this crazy play by this guy right here. So Alabama's in a bunch near the sideline up here. Just going to try to throw an RPO to this top receiver. Watch this play by this outside corner. So other than that, yeah, there's not really a ton. They still have the 2 linebackers, 28s and the QB spy still on Milroe. It's a nickel defense again, outside corner, safety, safety, slot corner, outside corner. 4 down linemen, like a 3-3 over instead of mint. There's no standing outside linebacker. Everybody's in a 3-point stance on the defensive line. But they try to throw this RPO and just 23 just... I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so, buddy. So the only thing, I mean, to equate it to the game, the only real big thing that would be... The only chance you'd have to do that is if you manned up, like the outside corner. It looked like everybody else was kind of in a zone. Maybe he was in a hard flat or he was manned up on that outside corner. That's about it. That's not, there's really not much else to look at. I just wanted to make sure everybody saw that crazy play by that guy. And so we're jumping ahead to the third quarter here now, 17-3 for Oklahoma. Now, this is a really interesting play and one I'm not sure how we're going to be able to recreate, but we are going to try. They are back in their nickel mint defense, 3 down linemen, 1 standing outside linebacker here. Let me actually move my face really quick so we can get a better view of this play. But again, same concepts we've been talking about. There is a QB spy right here, number 28. We have the slot corner over here, outside corner over here, outside corner, safety, safety. So we'll go ahead and run this play a little bit, and how these two play this play. Oh, You couldn't even see my cursor there for a second. How these two play this play, very, very impressive. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a little fake to the running back here. So everybody, this time they're all actually following the running back. I think this had to be by design, because look, the slot corner's already breaking in. So everybody up front, this play, they're worried about the running back because they know the slot corner is going to be there one-on-one. Hopefully he can make a tackle on Milroe. But this 23, this outside corner, recognizes the play too. This is just phenomenal team defense, and we still have the spy here on 28. So he's following for a second. He's going to try to cut back, but look where number 5 is already. He's already almost at the line of scrimmage. He is breaking on this immediately. Just great recognition by Oklahoma. Again, some contains out here on this our top side. Looks like this guy specifically is just kind of standing there waiting to see what happens. This number 5 is already coming down this way. Got 28 standing right here, ready to go either direction, and 23 is also breaking down on this already. He sees what's happening. He's giving up essentially on his assignment and is coming down. Bang, here he comes. And there was just nowhere for Oklahoma to go on this play. They have the contains out there. It's either like a QB contain or not a QB contain, like a QB spy or a blitz essentially on the slot corner. There's nowhere to go up here. 1, 2, 3 defenders there. There's nowhere to go back to the left here. Slot corners here. Defensive lines breaking through. 20, even the outside corner. The outside corner, I don't know how we're going to be able to recreate that. But this is essentially just going to be a blitz from your slot corner with everybody else slanted to the right. And there's just nowhere to go. He has to just give up on the play. Just nowhere to go. Alright, let's see if we can find something similar. I mean, heck, it might just be this nickel 2 trap. Something like that. Let's see if I can find how their coverage looked on that play, if I can tell. It can be really difficult on the broadcast angle. So no, it almost looked like they dropped into a cover 3. No, cover 3 match isn't a fit because the outside corner, that safety is going into a third 2. Let's see, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like overload 3 press. Yeah, it's very similar to that. Except we're going to make sure that outside guy, instead of going into a purple zone, is actually rushing. And the middle linebacker is not. So this was like a read option that the QB kept. So it could be, yeah, like a read option. That Y lead read option looks almost exactly right. Alright, so we will put them in that. So what Oklahoma did is they actually had this flipped. So the slot corner is on the opposite side. And then everyone on the D-line was shifted to the right. So they're all going to the right. Then we have the slot corner out there. You guys were all backed up. And then this linebacker wasn't blitzing. He was in a QB spy. Overall, I think that looks pretty good. They have the slot corner coming off the left. Everyone else kind of forcing everything to the right. And then the QB spy and a zone over the middle. Obviously, the right flat's an issue. But they were pretty... I mean, we could put him in like a curl flat out there too. And then middle of the field's more of an issue. But it looks pretty similar to this here. Just watching the replay, that number 10, he does go out to the right, but I can't tell. We'll just keep him in a curl flat, something like that. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That worked pretty well. Actually, what it looks like, I think we can get this a little more accurate to how they were actually running it. We are going to keep, I think it was more just the formation and the wing trips weak looks more right, so we're going to stick with that. Okay, so play flipped. So our blitzing slot corner is on this side. Stutzman is in a QB spy. X is going to go in a curl flat. We're going to put some contains. We're going to shift these guys over here. Slant everyone to the right. So force that run to the right to run into the pile. Or we have the slot corner on the left. And then what it looks like they do here too, and back these guys up. So they don't have this outside left. He's in like a cloud flat. And then this safety is in an outside third. And then third. Yeah. So that looks pretty similar to what... Oh, you're supposed to be in QB spy. So that looks more like what they do here. So that outside corner at the bottom of our screen kind of stayed down and came down to help out on the run. And everyone else looked like rotated into thirds. So that looks to be just about how they had it set up. Let's see how it works this time. Yep, forces them into the pile. Forces them right into the pile. Man, this stuff's actually working pretty dang well. Granted, it's against the computer, so take from that what you will. So you go into third. Oh, right, we have to flip the play. I forgot about that part. So you go into a cloud flat. You go into an outside third. Our other third should be set already. Instead of blitzing, you're a QB spy. Instead, you are a curl flat. Everyone shifts that way. Everyone does that. Yeah, okay. Contains. See how it does. See how it does again here. I would like Milroe to keep one, but see, that was a good one. That was a good one because that slot corner actually came down and made a play on that. Okay, okay. Yeah, who would have guessed these coaches at such a high level might actually know a little bit about what they're doing, and it actually is translating this game pretty dang well. All right, let's find at least one more play for us to look at here. I know Oklahoma dominates time of possession, so I don't know how much more we're going to have to look at from Alabama here, but so far, I've been enjoying it. You guys all have to let me know if you like this format or not, because I think this is super fun. Well, we didn't have to wait long. Turns out the next play is another one we can look at here. And from the looks of it, this has been one of my favorite defenses. It kind of looks like Oklahoma runs here a little bit. So I got the 4 down linemen, so that's... No, they stayed with 3, so it's nickel mint. But what they do here, so the slot corner's down at the bottom. So again, they kind of have it flipped. They have 3 receivers up here, but the slot corner's on the opposite side, so we're going to have to flip that. But they still have the QB spy here. This is number 28. This linebacker is going out to the flats, and that's where they catch them. Those linebackers sneaking out to flats, those are tricky. They don't see, a lot of people online in this game don't see him coming. Jalen Milroe didn't see it coming either. Number 10 just books it right out to the flats, gets right in front of that, because it looks open, right? This guy's probably on a deep zone or something, or just playing off man. So it looks like, hey, I got all this room. Number 10 sneaks his way out there. Picks it off for Oklahoma. And I think, does he run it back? Yeah, he does. That's right. I remember that movie put on Milroe. Yeah, so this is one we can definitely recreate, and it's one of my favorite defenses in this game. So again, not knowing exactly what their deep shells and everything were, this looked a lot like something like cover 3 Buzz Mabel. Do we have Buzz Match in this too? Because I prefer Buzz Match over Buzz Mabel, but that might just be in nickel over. I think it is, but Buzz Mabel is going to work essentially the same. So we'll come out in Buzz Mabel. They came out, they had 3 to a side there. Let's try to find their formation. Oh, they came out in 5 wide. So they came out in something like this. Yeah, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. And we'll just call something like, I guess we don't need to call this specific. Something like double ends, just with that curl route on the right. Okay, so what they had done. So in this instance, I think we actually have this right. It's just the alignment's kind of goofy. So we're actually going to bring these linebackers in here. I think it would work better in this game to put him on a hard flat instead. He kind of starts over there. Stutzman's over here. He's on a QB spy again. They got contains again. Just watching kind of that same stuff. This safety's a little further down. Again, in a game, you're probably not going to have time to make all of these different adjustments, but at least this is going to give us a good idea of what Oklahoma is doing. So yeah, contains, keep Milroe in that pocket, keep your QB spy so he has nowhere to run. Then yeah, they just send that number 10 out on a hard flat. I'm sure they're not going to actually throw it to him, but see, look, you see how number 10 guarded that? Okay, Milroe. Okay, buddy. Video game Jalen Milroe is something else. So let's go to just the replay here, just to see how that hard flat guarded that curl route, because it looked almost exactly how the interception happened here. He was a little closer to the sideline, but it is what it is. So let's see, so what Milroe saw in the game is this number 26 backing up, and he threw it like probably around here, as number 10 is getting out to his flat and gets right underneath it. So yeah, I mean, something like that is going to work. Where's 81? Yeah, 81 would have been open over the middle of the field. I was just taking away that drag. So if I went and was guarding this middle area of the field like I could be, it's how Oklahoma was doing their QB spy. Once they saw it wasn't a designed QB run, they were dropping back into coverage, which I didn't really do here. I kind of stayed too down close. But once he saw Milroe actually drop back, in this instance, that number 28, well, I'm stuck on 77, would have probably dropped back right to this area, guarded 81. We have that covered. We have everything covered. Another great play. Another great play, Oklahoma. They are impressing the heck out of me here. So here's another one. It's not anything we're going to recreate, but it's just going to kind of show you what I was talking about. So contains, they're going to have contains on the outside, and watch 28. He's clearly on the QB spy here again. But once he sees it's not a run, he looks around and tries to find where he needs to cover. So this is kind of exactly what I was talking about. We'll see it from a different angle here in a second. And then those edge rushers just obliterate those tackles. But we'll see here again that number 28, I think, was pretty clearly QB spy again, watching for designed QB run. Eyes on Milroe. If it's a QB run, he's going to go help. If it's not, he's going back into a coverage. So it's essentially a QB spy, but it's not really anything we can create. So he sees the snap, look at his head, snaps immediately this way. He saw it's not a run, he saw it's a pass. Who do I need to go cover? It's 28 and number 40 on Oklahoma's defense. Have really been impressing me here. And just to emphasize that point, here's a 3rd and 2 at the start of the 4th quarter. Number 40 right down here. Nickel mint again. QB contains again. QB spies again. Same thing they've been doing all day. That's just been giving Alabama all sorts of trouble. Watch number 40 on this play. It's a read option for Jalen Milroe. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Right, so this is going to be the last play we look at here. We can see there's 7 minutes left, 4th and 10, down by 21. This is game. I got to move myself here again. Whoa. Now, this is a formation on defense I don't think we'll really be able to recreate. They have 2 down linemen. I mean, they really have 1 down lineman. They have a nose tackle here. But then they almost have like the double mug setup with the 2 rushers on each side of him. Way outside rusher here, standing outside linebacker over here, and they also get a little tricky with it here too. So it looks like they're just sending this pressure, but they're actually sending this guy. He's dropping back into coverage. He's blitzing too. This will be interesting. I don't know if we'll be able to recreate this. Then the edge pressure from 32 comes in, hits Milroe as he throws, picked off, game over, Oklahoma wins. Let's see. I don't know how we're going to be able to recreate this, but I'd love to be able to, because that is a crazy look. So let's go see if we can find something. As crazy it might sound, I think double mug is actually going to be the closest we can come to this. And then we're going to have to drop people into coverage and do some different things. But I think double mug mid blitz. Put them in a random trips tight end. That was the formation they were in. Okay. So then he's kind of... I can't press him. Okay. So, how did they do this? So you aren't blitzing. You're going back into coverage. And it'd be like if we... so we contain... there's another... Can we move him over here and have him blitz? And then maybe put B in a zone there too? Because I think he essentially drops out. So essentially, they're giving the double mug look, but dropping a lot more people into coverage than you would think. So actually what it would be is B stays blitzing in a contain. Stutzman and that defensive tackle can drop back into coverage over there too. Now, other than that, I think Spears is blitzing too, I think, from like over here. Something like that. So it's not, the exact look, but it's kind of the same idea. They're kind of hovering over the center, but then really only overloading one side and then sending a late blitzer from the other. So let's see how that works for us. Probably not great. I don't love the looks of that. I don't love the looks of that one. That one's a little dicey for me personally. But I can see the merit of it. So I think you drop back maybe like over there. And then, yeah, I'm still trying to... And Spears Jennings, maybe he wasn't a blitzer. I think he was, though. So then these 2 are dropping back. We have a blitzer and a contain over on the right. We have 3 loaded over on the left. That looks to... I think that's how they did it. And then just rushed 5. And then they tried to QB run. Nice try. Nice try, Alabama. So that is, in general takeaways of what Oklahoma did. A lot of nickel defense, a lot of contains. It looked like they had contains on just about every single play, and 1 dedicated QB spy. I say dedicated, but it changed on the play and the personnel, of course, number 28, number 10, sometimes it was number 11. It was 1 linebacker, always in QB spy. which would be a good person to user if you're concerned about QB runs, kind of doing exactly what Oklahoma did that I loved, is they had that QB spy, but as soon as he saw it wasn't a designed QB run, he was getting into coverage right away, which I love that idea of how they were doing that. Send some edge pressure every once in a while, get the pressure up the middle. That cross 3 show 2 is a great way to neutralize mobile quarterbacks. You get the contains, you get that pressure up the middle, and then you could put the other guy in a QB spy. The quarterback would have nowhere to go against a defense like that. So thank you, Oklahoma, for showing us a little bit of the defense here. I think this was a fun video idea. You guys will have to let me know, though. And if you have any other ideas of things I should look at, things I could try to recreate in this game, give it a shot. We'll do the best we can. We'll see. Like I said, a lot of stuff that happens in real life doesn't really have a one-to-one comparison in this game. So, but if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, take it easy.